reminds you of the things that you're proud of, you're grateful for.
So one thing about happiness is that we feel fulfilled when we have information and access information, and the more information we get, the happier we feel, sort of like an addiction. And I think that we're sort of setting ourselves up for disappointment as we get uninhibited access to information, that we're always seeking more and more and more. And I think that that's where the disconnect between feeling grateful for just the amount of information that we already have in our brains versus the amount that we could potentially have.
Right, exactly, and that's a really good point. And so, and that goes back to expecting happiness expecting to find happiness outside of us, through other things, through other people.
I think this search for information goes back to something I care deeply about, I've written about, is that we over many years we became a culture of consumers where we actually did very little with our own hands and our own minds, and this feeling that we had to get more and more external input to actually be happy. And for many people that seems to not really be working out. And going back to earlier, you asked what piece of technology you think really helps to make people happy. And for me, in very broad terms, the whole internet and the whole social media, what that can do, in my view, is bring people together and work on things and be able to build things that they wouldn't have been able to otherwise. Personally, I've spent a lot of time doing like free and open source software because that gave me that sense of accomplishment, and I'm actually building something. And these are definitely not things I could have done on my own. So this whole setup that at first turned us into consumers can actually also be reversed and turn us back into creators, which in my view is immensely more fulfilling.
So the ability to create that technology is given you specifically.
Create and find other people that share interest and build on each other's work and help each other out.
Yeah, the community to help you build and to support you and to understand and appreciate the things that you do build.
Exactly.
That's good.
So I think it's important to say that technology isn't doing these things to us. It's like, so we're reacting to technology, and I think more than anything, it's just sort of teaching us about ourselves. I don't know if that sounds too out there, but for example, I've got a sister-in-law that has like a real manic depressive relationship with technology. She'll get on Facebook and then she'll be like, I'm quitting Facebook, and she'll delete her Facebook, and she'll delete her. And then in like a matter of weeks, she's like, oh, okay. She starts it back up again, and so she reacts like this way, and I don't. So it's not Facebook or Twitter is not bad, but you can react badly.
Right, exactly. And maybe that's not just the way that she interacts with Facebook. Okay, sorry. Yes.
I think most of this goes back to fairly basic stuff about content. So I think the ideas of reference and the ideas of social networks being important to give you a context and why are we here basically, not here.
Well, our lives are becoming more complicated, but the rule of life is simple. The rules of life and these things like gratitude and reverence,
But we like to feel reverent, because that puts us in our place, doesn't it? That tells us that we're not ultimately responsible for absolutely everything.
Absolutely.
Is your sister-in-law, is it because she falls out with someone on Facebook who says something and then someone says you're an idiot?
No, I think she genuinely feels like she's overdosing on Facebook. She's like, Facebook is bad.
She doesn't trust herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when we live, I was interviewed about Facebook addiction disorder, and whether, actually it's internet addiction disorder, sorry. That's a different thing. But I was asked about it, and I don't really think that exists. I think that from what I've seen of the way that people interact with the internet, it's not an addiction, because addiction has to follow certain guidelines, has to be harmful, and you do an addiction no matter what. It doesn't matter who it harms But when you sit down in front of your computer and you get a pop-up and you follow that, and then there's a link and you follow the link out, and then, you know, next thing you know, it's 5 hours later, that's not really an addiction, it's more of a compulsion. And we do live in the most stimulating time in the course of human history from my perspective. And so a little compulsion, I think, should just be expected. And yeah, yours.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think we're not even talking about happiness though, because I think we're talking about contentment. I mean, you keep talking about relevance. Contentment comes with a sine wave that's gentle. You know, back in the 17th century, there were 7 things you had to worry about in the day, right? You had to make bed, you had to make dinner, you had to feed the cat, you know, like, that was it. But the internet, I think what's happening is we're emotionally overwhelmed. There are so many things, so much stimulation, you just said, that hits us. Every 5 seconds there's something you care about, every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Your boss said this, oh my gosh, I'm up here, and then this one, and then I'm down here. And so we're going like that. Now I think we're very happy, but the happiness for me, when I'm happy, I'm so ecstatic, like I can burst, and then when I'm upset, I'm all the way down here. Now I'm an entrepreneur. So I mean that's
What was
probably,
that? You're what?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur,
So that's
gotcha.
probably
Yeah.
why. But on the other hand, there are so many things hitting me every 2 seconds.
Yes.
I can't be content with that sine wave going like that.
So-
Contentment is the sine wave goes like this. So it's the amount for me, not the things
Yeah.
that are hitting me.
So it's not,
And that is technology doing that.
it's not just information, it's the emotion that
Well, it's
that
the emotional
information.
engagement with things, which there used to be 7 things in a day. Now there's hundreds
Exactly.
that I care about.
And that is, yeah, absolutely. That's a really great point. And that's something that we have to acknowledge is that we are emotional creatures. And I think you said that we're emotional creatures who rationalize.
Yeah, rationalizing.
Rationalizing. We're not rational, we're rationalizing. And any of these things that we like or that we think that we need come from an emotional place. And when we can acknowledge that, then we can, this room is full of a lot of people who have a lot of power when it comes to the future of technology. And so there's a lot of responsibility too to understand how, what an effect you guys can have on people's emotions. And to also use that in a positive way. You want to talk about positive?
Okay. Sure. So you could say that we're all competitive, but our competition doesn't have to be hostile. It can be cooperative and for the greater mutual good. So one thing we can explore is how we can add gamification, leaderboards and scores and points to make helping other people a competition. You could even say that philanthropy is kind of a competitive move. Like, it's a dominance move to give someone money. So I have this and I can afford to give it to you. And this plays directly to our reptilian brain, what Seth Godin likes to call the lizard brain. And I think we should explore opportunities for how we can create positive competitive environments. If we're going to be humanist and say we want to do good by the most people possible, we can't run away from our darker competitive aspects, and we have to embrace them instead. So like certain communities have like positive, like for example, Reddit.com is a community that values humor. And it allows people to compete over who can be the funniest. And then everyone who visits Reddit can go like click through a bunch of links and laugh because they're really funny. Another community I'm part of online is Hacker News. People compete to see who can provide the most helpful advice and insight into the world of startups. So I ask, what other things can you think of? What opportunities are there for cooperative communities? There's this like opera singer, like Josh Grogan, and like a bunch of Broganites get together and compete to like raise money for causes they care about. That's kind of cool. People on Wikipedia compete to, share their knowledge, to, throw it down. What other